to believe he's dead.
Were it so easy.
Once a revered Covenant commander in the Great War, to a fallen Arbiter, to leader of the Swords of Sanghelios coalition. This is the story of Thel Vadam, the Arbiter and leader of the Sangheli. Thel was born to the House of Vadam, rulers of the powerful state of Vadam on Sanghelios in 2485. In his youth, Thel was trained in the ways of fighting by his relative, Nakai Vodar. He would later join the Covenant military, adding in the honorary EE suffix to his surname, according to custom. When the Human-Covenant War began, Thel would participate in the Covenant attack on the human colony world of Madrigal in 2528. Within a short period of time, Thel achieved both the rank of Zealot and the title of Shipmaster, and became Kaidan of his state through the votes of Vadam's elders. Early in his rule, he was attacked by 3 Sangheli assassins wielding energy swords. He managed to kill all 3 without injury, and proceeded to appear before Vadam's elder to determine which one had ordered the attack. Thel discovered that the assassination order came from the elder Nakai Vodar, and after killing him, banished all of his line from Vadam Keep. In 2535, Thel was given command over the Covenant vessel Retribution's Thunder, and participated in the Battle of Charybdis 9. While being overseen by the High Prophet of Regret, he was then summoned to the infamous sacrifice, where he met the Hierarch in person. Regret informed him that humans were reportedly wielding modified Covenant plasma rifles, a transgression he believed was the doing of Kikyar smugglers led by their warband leader, Reth. For this mission, his ship was accompanied by the Kikyar vessel, a psalm every day, commanded by the shipmistress Chor Armat and Jerohane chieftain Peleus. After the discovery of the rubble, a collection of asteroid habitats built by Kikyar and insurrectionist humans, Thunder was attacked by the psalm every day. Peleus, who decided to betray Thel so that he could claim sole credit for the discovery of the colony. After subduing Reth, Thel was surprised by his revelation that his alliance with the humans was in fact under the orders of the High Prophet of Truth. According to Reth, the sale of contraband weapons was in fact a bluff in order to locate other human worlds through tracking devices implanted in the plasma rifles. After a brief fight with the demon Jai 006, there was little else for Thel and the Zealots to do but wait for the High Prophets of Truth and Regret to arrive. Upon reporting the failures of their mission, one of Thel's zealots, Zar, attempted to kill the prophets, but Thel activated his energy sword and killed his friend without mercy. This act prompted Truth to spare his life and give Thel command over a ship within the newly formed Covenant fleet of Particular Justice. At some point between 2535 and 2552, Thel's exceptional leadership and combat prowess earned him the rank of Supreme Commander of the Fleet of Particular Justice. Sometime after his promotion, he led the Covenant forces in the Battle of Chamber. Vadam and his fleet caught the UNSC forces completely unawares. He began ground and orbital assaults before most of the planet was aware of the attack. Thel personally led the attack on UNSC System HQ, where he encountered the 3rd Battalion Reserve, unarmed and defenseless. In accordance with the Sangheli Code of Honor, Vadam allowed the human forces to arm themselves before being wiped out by himself and his men. Throughout his military career as Supreme Commander, he was responsible for the glassing of many human worlds such as Bounty, Mesa, and most famously, Reach. He and his forces were responsible for the death of over 1 billion humans, 23,000 of them being military personnel. Near the final months of the fall of Reach, he led his fleet in the pursuit of the Pillar of Autumn as it fled the glass planet. This chase led them to the discovery of the first holy ring, Halo. During the Battle of Installation 04, he found himself in a political infighting with the Prophet of Stewardship over control of the fleet. When he dispatched a Spec Ops squadron on the DSC-class support ship, Infamous Secor, led by his commander, Ortas Vanome, he then quickly discovered the presence of the parasite on the ring. With the situation deteriorating, Thel ordered the evacuation of all his ships from the ring, as well as shooting down any vessels which failed to return with clean bioscans. This distraction cost Thel the battle, as the demon 117 and his AI companion known as Cortana successfully detonated the Pillar of Autumn under the nose of the Covenant occupation. With little else to be done, Thel ordered his surviving ships to fall back. This retreat was to save his life, but not his honor. In an act that further humiliated Thel, the Ascendant Justice was captured by the demon and his small boarding party of humans. Shortly after his ships failed to pursue the Ascendant Justice, Thel was called before the High Council to answer for his failures. The loss of the Holy Ring was an unforgivable failure in the eyes of the High Prophets and the Sangheli counselors. Vadam was stripped of his rank, title, name, and honor, and was branded a heretic for his failures to safeguard the Holy Ring. The mark of shame was then branded upon his chest, and he was sentenced to death. The Hierarchs, however, had different plans for Thel. Upon being brought before the High Prophets of Truth and Mercy, Thel was offered a choice of becoming the new Arbiter. Understanding that the office of Arbiter was itself a death sentence, and seeking to regain his honor, Thel accepted. Vadam's first assignment as the Arbiter was to stop a heretic uprising based on the Forerunner gas mine in the atmosphere of Threshold. He was assisted by Special Operations Commander Nakai Vodar and his Special Operations Battalion. After battling both heretic and flood forces, the Arbiter confronted the heretic leader Sessa Refume and the Oracle 343 Guilty Spark. With the uprising suppressed, the Jerohanai chieftain Tartarus extracted the Arbiter and used the Fist O'Rourke to capture the Oracle. They then soon left the system along with High Charity. Before his next mission, the Arbiter witnessed the replacement of the Sangheli Honor Guardsmen with the Jerohanai as a result of the assassination of the High Prophet of Regret at the hands of the demon. Though distressed by the change and voicing his concerns to the Prophet of Truth, Vadam had no further comment on the subject. The Hierarchs then assigned the Arbiter to the quarantine zone on Installation 05 to retrieve the sacred icon. This holy relic was needed to activate the ring and begin the great journey. With the aid of Ortas and his Special Operations Forces, the Arbiter proceeded to the library, where he encountered Commander Miranda Keyes and Sergeant Avery Johnson as they retrieved the icon. After besting the humans, he was betrayed by Tartarus and his Jerohanai under the orders of the Hierarchs. The chieftain then knocked and stunned the Arbiter into a pit leading him to the depths of Installation 05. The Arbiter was rescued from his fall by the Grave Mind, the central intelligence of the parasite, and was brought to its lair. It was there that he met the demon for the first time. The Grave Mind attempted to convince Vadam that the Halos were weapons of mass destruction, not a path towards transcendence, a position of which the demon thoroughly supported, but to no avail, as Vadam was still devoted to the Covenant religion. In order to show him the truth, he was sent to the control room while the demon was sent to High Charity to stop the activation of Halo. Upon arriving at the site of the control room, Vadam regrouped with several Sangheli separatists, along with Ortas, and freed several Sangheli's counselors and formed an uneasy alliance with the humans that had been captured by Tartarus and his Jerohanai. They then proceeded to the control room, where Vadam attempted to convince Tartarus of the lies of the prophets upon learning the truth from the Oracle, but to no avail. Vadam then slew the chieftain of the Jerohanai and stopped the activation of Halo with Miranda Keyes and Johnson. After Tartarus' defeat on Delta Halo, Vadam officially changed his surname to Vadam, symbolizing his resignation from the Covenant Empire, along with the remaining Sangheli population. The Arbiter and his Sangheli forces officially formed a truce with the remnants of the UNSC forces during the closing months of the Covenant War. At the Battle of the Ark, Thel finally confronted Truth as he was being slowly consumed by the parasite and assassinated him, signifying the end of the Covenant Empire. The Arbiter then aided the demon in his rescue of his AI companion from the remains of High Charity. Upon the final destruction of the Holy City, the two ventured to a halo that was meant to be a replacement for the one that the demon destroyed so many months ago. They then battled the flood and proceeded to the control room. There he witnessed the death of Sergeant Johnson at the hands of the Oracle as it was going mad. Upon Halo's activation, the Arbiter and the Demon journeyed to the human vessel known as Forward Onto Dawn and attempted to flee the ring as it was tearing itself apart. The Ark's portal then collapsed, separating the ship and the Arbiter with the Demon. The bow section of the ship, containing Vadam, completed the jump and crash-landed on Earth, where he was rescued. The Covenant Empire ceased to exist, and Thel began his first steps into bringing his people towards a new future.